Welcome back. In today's edition of the Rant Files, we're going to talk about trophies, achievements, things that you can get by playing the game that were introduced during the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Steam life cycle in that era. Now, previously, in the game itself, you could get achievements and things of that nature by doing stuff. But now they made it so that it was kind of like tied to your account or something. So if you played a game and if you did a thing, you'd get a trophy for doing that thing. It would be tied to your account, and anybody who views your account can see all the games that you've played and see all of the goodies that you've earned. And that sounds cool on paper. That sounds fine. But let's have a rant about trophies that are impossible to obtain, or that become impossible to obtain. They say that no bridge lasts forever. Eventually the bridge is going to fall, and people are going to need a new way to cross. This is the same for any online community. It's the same. It's the same. What this means is, if you have trophies that you need to log in and play online to earn your trophies, let's just tell the story. Let's tell the story and see if I can start from there. I invested hundreds of hours in Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. I ended up maxing the levels of all the Gundams. I got all the gear. I unlocked all the pilots, maxed out all the pilots. I got the Wusha Gundams. I got the Wusha 2 Gundam. I got the Knight Gundam. I got all of the playable Gundams. I got all of the basic Gundams. I did all the challenges. I did all the missions. I did all the stages. I did everything you could think of to do. Every single thing. And I noticed that I had not completed the game. I noticed that I had not 100%ed the game. Why was this? I looked at the trophy list. Why was my list not complete? Well, apparently, on the list of trophies for Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3, there were a handful that you could only obtain by playing the online multiplayer mode. What if you're playing the game after the multiplayer was dead because nobody was playing the game online anymore? Nobody was playing the game anymore. You would be unable to play online. The bridge collapsed. You couldn't cross. This is why I think you should never have achievements / trophies for games that have online content. What this means is, for the single-player content, fine. Put them in. Do all that crap. But you gotta make it so that the player can obtain them, even after your servers have long since died. Because people might still pick the game up to play, like I did. And I was unable to complete it. And there's a lot of games like this. I basically would have had to call up a couple friends, make them go out and buy a copy, or buy them a copy and ship them a copy, and then have them all play it on a PlayStation 3, and if they didn't have a PlayStation 3, I had to get them one, they had to get one, and we'd all have to play at the same time, log in, do the same things, and blah, 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 to get the trophies. And that was a lot of crap that I just didn't want to do. Not only did I not have the friends to do that with, not only did I not have the content to do that with, not only did I not feel like getting them there was just too much there that you had to do because nobody was playing this game online. So, I could not get the trophies for this game, because for the online multiplayer trophies, because they were locked behind online multiplayer. I had a complete single-player profile, and yet I did not get the platinum because there was online content. Rant mode. Yes. This isn't gonna be a long one. I'm sorry, because I kind of already said everything I needed to say. But online trophies, in theory, feel like they're fine. But like anybody needs to keep in mind, their online community is not going to be there forever. But they are still going to possibly get players who may play their content at later dates. It's just not going to be enough at the same time to do online matches and things of that nature. What if they don't even like online? What if they just want to play single player? Well, they're not going to be able to max out the shit because they're playing on single player. So, I had a theory of just, if you're going to have multiplayer trophies, why not have 2 platinums? Why not segregate it? Have a single player platinum and a multiplayer platinum. That way, the multiplayer platinum can be got doing the multiplayer crap. And for the single player stands who got this game to play the single player campaign, to do the single player story, to do all the stuff that you could do on the single player, get to have their platinum trophy. Because they worked hard to get that platinum trophy. If I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get this trophy, I would not have wasted my time doing all of those insane challenges that took me a very, very long time to do. I wouldn't have tried to do that if I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get the platinum. Because not only am I not a social person who enjoys playing online games, because I don't enjoy playing games online, I'm also not playing this game during a time period where people are playing online. So even if I was playing this game during a time period, it's just don't make games and develop trophies for online play. Your online bridge is going to collapse. You cannot keep it standing forever. And once it collapses, the people who play these games long after the bridge has collapsed so that they can enjoy the ruins that are found within are not going to be able to complete their file because of the collapsed bridge. It's collapsed! You can't play online! They can't get the trophies. They can't platinum the game. Now, this isn't the only game that's like this. This isn't the only game where you can't complete the file. Let's talk about another one that is getting progressively more and more difficult to complete. Let's see, where did I put you? Here we go. Let's talk about this one. Not necessarily these two. Let's talk about this one. Early in the PlayStation 3/Xbox 360 lifestyle, Borderlands was released to the world, and everybody thought it was okay. They didn't love it, but they thought it was okay. They loved it when this one came out. This one they just thought was okay. But it was okay enough to warrant that sequel. There was a trophy in this game which says, play in a fire team with a player who is part of the Gearbox dev team. This means during an event, or something like that, players from Gearbox would play the game, and they would encourage the players to play in the fire team with them. And you do all sorts of levels and loots and crap, and you would get the trophy. Now, they were also nice enough to say that anybody who played in a fire team with those Gearbox developers would also get the trophy. So, for example, let's say Dave from Gearbox played in a fire team with Jim, Sally, and Tim. Well, if Jack played in a fire team with any one of Jim, Sally, or Tim, Jack would also get that trophy. So it was like a branching out type of thing. But as the game got older and older, the people playing this game also got fewer and fewer and fewer. So, and there was another way of not knowing who played in that fire team with that Gearbox dev, and not knowing who played in a fire team with somebody who played with that Gearbox dev. And I don't know how that rabbit hole tree root network worked. It's like, if Jack played in Jim, Sally, or Tim's fire team, Jack would get the trophy. But what if Gordon over here, Gordon, played with Jack? Will Gordon get that exclusive trophy? Or did he have to play with Jack, Sally, or Tim? And Jim, Sally, or Tim? It's like, it's... And as time goes on, the people who played in that fire team with that Gearbox developer get smaller and smaller and smaller, until there's nobody left who played with that Gearbox developer. You could maybe go on the internet, scour the internet, find gamer forums, and go like, hey, has anybody played with one of the Gearbox developers for this game? Has anybody played a fire team with this on this console? And you have to just keep crying out and hoping somebody played with them. And you hope that somebody's going to reply to you. And I'm thinking, why go to all of that trouble? Why go to all of that trouble just to platinum Borderlands? It's technically an unattainable trophy in game. You have to do external, out-of-game social activity. So, is it really a trophy? Is it really a trophy if we have to track down a player who played with one of the Gearbox developers in order to obtain this extremely elusive trophy? And as the years pass, the likelihood of my coming across one of those players grows dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. And I'm thinking, why is that a trophy at all? Why is that even there? No game has an infinite lifespan. No infinite lifespan of a community. None of that. Even your Fortnites and your Overwatches and your Team Fortress 2s, your Battlefields, your Battlefronts, your Call of Duties, your Rainbow Sixes, your Among Us's, your Minecrafts, they're finite. They might be here 10 years from now. They might be here 20 years from now, but they also might not. In 20 years, maybe nobody's playing Overwatch 1 anymore. Maybe nobody is playing it at all. Maybe they're playing Overwatch 2 or 3 now. And if nobody's playing Overwatch, then when the person buys Overwatch and there's nothing there for them, and they wasted all that money on a game that nobody is playing. And what about that person who did spend that $60 to buy that Overwatch game, and then they decide 20 years later, oh, I want to check on the game, see how it is. They put the game in, and then there's nobody there. There's nobody there. Now imagine a trophy hunter buys Overwatch in 2030 or something like that, and there's nobody playing Overwatch, and it's like, oh shit, I can't get any of these trophies now. So he's boned, screwed. You see, nothing's infinite. I get that. But you can make it so that somebody can platinum the game. without needing to be online. Because while your online community is finite, the game is forever, provided the means to play it exists, and the ISOs and all of those other things continue to be preserved and all that. It's more infinite than the online community, is what I'm trying to say. And in that regard, people who play the game offline should be able to platinum the game. People who play a game offline should be able to platinum the game. So modify your trophies and make it so that you can platinum the game after your servers die. The Overwatch game, make it so that somebody can platinum the game while playing matches versus the bots. If it's like that already, great. If it's not, make it like that. Because the online community is going to die. Your online community for the game that you're playing is going to die. If not today, if not tomorrow, if not next year, if not 5 years from now, if not 10 years from now, maybe 20 years from now, eventually, it will die. And when nobody plays the game anymore, all of those trophies that require people to be online with a group of people who also need to be playing the game in order to obtain these trophies makes for a very, very bad day. Because nobody's having fun that way when we have to force other people to play a game that they maybe played a very long time ago just to get a gearbox trophy. It's not fun making people buy a game that is 10 to 20 years old just to be able to get some online trophies. You know, people play older games. I play older games all the time. In fact, my newest game, the newest game that I own, is this one. The PlayStation 3. It's the newest one. Every other game that I own is older than this. And the older the game gets, the less likely there's going to be an online community who plays those games. And so, if I ever felt like I wanted to complete a game, if I ever felt like I wanted to get all of the trophies for a game, and I realized that there are online trophies, that basically tells me I can't do it. I'm too late. There was a time limit on being able to do this, and I didn't make it. But I did plat Sly Cooper 1, though!